Alright, good day everyone. So today what we're going to do is we're gonna teach you guys how we do flushing. So flushing is basically done for carnivorous plants so that any of the mineral buildup on the plants are basically expelled from the pot, maintaining the plant's good health and avoiding root rot in general. So what we do is we usually flush each of the pots every 2 weeks or at least once a month. So if you could do it more frequently, that's also okay. So what you're gonna need to do this is you're gonna need a basin. So even a small basin will do. And then we also use a water spout, just like this one. So if you have like a bigger one, or as long as it can target those small areas on the pots without draining the whole pot too much, then that's good. What we also do is we use a bigger container, a water container, just like this one. So this is an 8-liter water container, and then it has a funnel. So what we're gonna do is, at each of the water that we use to drain the pot is going to be collected here, and from there we could use this to water other plants as long as it's not carnivorous plants. And then you also have what we also use, like a small funnel, so that we could refill this guy, or the water spout, once we run out of water. And then of course you're gonna need some low TDS water. So this one is aircon runoff water, so you could use that, or if you have rainwater, that works as well, as long as it's low ppm, low TDS. So it could be distilled, it could be purified water, it could be rainwater, or in this case we are using aircon runoff water. So okay, so with that we're gonna start draining the pots. Okay, so to drain the pots, our target is to and of course, okay, so before I forget, you're also gonna need a TDS meter. So I'm sure that if you're taking care of carnivorous plants, you're gonna have one of these. Right? So so now let's start and drain some pots. So here we have a Drosera fulva, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on the basin, and using our low TDS water on this water spout, what we're gonna do is we're gonna top water the plant. So this process should not take a couple of minutes. So you want to collect as much water as you can, draining it. So as you can see, it's almost overflowing, and it's gonna drain on the bottom. Okay. So some pots they drain slowly, some pots they drain faster. So what you could do to speed up the process is just to raise the pot so that the water is drains faster. Because on some pots it only has 2 holes, so in this case it only has 2 holes, so it drains slower. So yeah, so once we've done that, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna use our TDS meter, and we are going to measure the TDS of the water we've collected. So in this case, it reads 33 parts per million. So that's already acceptable. So in this case, we can go ahead and look for another pot to flush. So let's try flushing one of our Droseras, Drosera bellasiana. Okay. So again, okay, so sorry. So before you move on to another pot, what you could do with this water that we've collected is we're going to put it on our big bin, so that we could use that water for other plants later on. Okay, so again, the same process. So using our low TDS water, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to water this plant until we've drained that same amount, the same amount that we've collected earlier. And then if you run out of water, just like what happened to me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna refill it with with low TDS water. So again, when you're flushing your pots, you should always use low TDS water. You're not supposed to use faucet water, well, except when your faucet water is low TDS, because if you use high TDS water, the tendency is you're contributing more minerals to the pot instead of expelling them. Okay, so the same process goes. So once we've refilled that, so what we're gonna do is we're going to water the pot the same way we water it every day. So we try to get as much of the substrate wet as possible so that it drains all of that substrate. And once we've collected the same amount that we've collected earlier, so you don't have to measure this, you just have to eyeball it, same amount as we've collected earlier. So what we're gonna do again, we're gonna drain it, make sure it drains well. Okay, so once we've drained all of that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure the TDS of this water again. So this one measures 64 parts per million. So that's kind of high for carnivore plants. So since this one's high, so what we're gonna do is again, so we're gonna discard the water and repeat the process. So again, we're gonna put the pot back on the basin, and then we're gonna water it from the top. So from here, since you're doing this on a regular basis, or like an every 2-week basis, you would already have an idea how much minerals are being built up on your plants every 2 weeks, and how much you need to flush them, how much water you need to flush them. So from there, you would build like sort of a system on how much water you need to flush, how often do I need to flush my plants, because those things depend on the environment and the water you use. So it depends on what type of water you're using, if your place is humid or if it's dry. Because if it's humid, chances are it's not gonna build up that much. So now, after draining it again, our new TDS is now down at 39. So that's already acceptable. So you could stop there, or you could actually continue on and flush the media again until until you have the TDS that you're happy with. Say you want it to be down by as much as 25 or 20. Of course, if your low TDS water reads around 25 ppm, it's only gonna go down that far. So you could continue doing this until you reach 25, or you could stop from there since it's already acceptable. So for me, since it's already acceptable and my TDS on my water is 25 ppm, I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna do the same process for the other plants. Okay, so yeah, and what are we gonna do with, again, so what are we gonna do with the excess water? So as you can see here, so this is the one that we've just used. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on our discarded water. And you could also tell visually if you need to flush already. As you can see, this is the discarded water. So the discarded water is a bit brown. And if you see the water that we've collected, the low TDS water, you could see the difference in the color. So the color of the discarded water is a bit yellow, a bit brown. The color of the low TDS water is much clearer than before. So from there, you could already, again, so this is not like a foolproof way of doing it. But for me, this is already an indication that I need to flush my water already. So if you see this being collected on your trays, the trays where you put your carnivorous plants, then you know that you need to flush your water already. So again, this is a case-to-case basis. Your water may be more brown than this. So you have to do the flushing first for you to know what color of water you're trying to avoid against what color of water you're using. So yeah, so that's just a clarification on how we do flushing. Alright, so I hope you've learned a lot from our quick video today. And again, so if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, you could comment down below. You could also message us on Facebook at The Hobbyist. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.